Hello and welcome back to another video. Today here again on Forza Horizon 5 to take a look at another brand new addition to the series, which is this 2024 Ford Mustang Dark Horse. This new addition is available for simply completing 20 points in the summer season of the festival playlist, which as you can see I've done by doing the trial, the 2 event lab races, the photo challenge, and the 2 monthly rivals events. The Dark Horse is equipped with a 5-litre V8 engine, which produces a rather exact 500 Mustang power, which is of course all sent through the rear wheels for maximum crowd visiting potential. It's kind of unsurprisingly rather heavy, weighing in at 1,791 kilos though, giving a stock rating in A-Class of 772 here in Horizon 5. To be honest though, it's not really a noticeable difference over the new Mustang GT, which we were also given in-game recently. I am pleased that we now have the Dark Horse, but now that this is here, I kind of feel like the addition of the GT was rather unnecessary, because this is the one we wanted, really. One thing I did particularly notice with this though, I don't know if it's exactly the same in the other Mustang, it probably is when you go from 5th into 6th gear, it just suddenly, there's nothing, there's no acceleration. The gear ratios are a little bit odd, or that one is at least. There's a selection of rather nice manufacturer colours for the Mustang. There's this sort of blue with hints of red in the sunlight, the kind of launch specification of the car, which I do think looks very good. I think they've captured the colour very well. There's also, of course, a bright red, many blue colours. There's a light blue, a dark blue, and a darker blue, depending on what you want. Then there's black, grey, silver, and white, of course. Now, as much as I like the standard colour, you may have noticed there are advanced paint group options, so I want to actually do something a little bit different. Paint group 1 is the main body, so for that I'm going to go for a yellow. These ones are too pastel-y and these ones are too orange, so I'm just going to quickly make that up to the colour that I usually use for yellow, which is that one. Then group 2 is the central stripe and the wing. So for that I'm actually going to leave it in the gloss black. But then group 3 is the other stripes and the sort of front bumpery bit. So what I'm going to do for those is go into the special colours and apply some carbon fibre. I think the gloss one, because that actually matches the wheels perfectly. And then we have this sort of yellow Mustang with a black stripe and carbon stripes. Now there's one little thing I need to sort out because we have blue calipers, and I think I'm just simply going to go for black on those because you can't get rid of the blue Brembo text. And there we go, that is my Bumblebee Mustang very quickly. Just because there was only red and blue available from manufacturer, I thought I would go with a yellow. So, slightly disappointingly, if we head over to the upgrade shop, you immediately notice there's of course no wide body like the other Mustang got, so I suppose that's one advantage of that car, but I feel like if they had just introduced this one they could have put the body kit on it. Anyway, there are several engine swap options on this one. There's a V8 diesel, for example, another V8, another V8, a V12, and a Viper V10. Because of course there is. You can also, of course, all-wheel drive swap it, if you wanted to do that for whatever reason. Twin turbo and supercharger options. There are a couple of aero options despite there not being a wide body. Unfortunately at the front it's just your standard Forza aero, but at the rear there is the big wing that was also on the other Ford Mustang, and the small wing that was also on the other Ford Mustang, as well as a wing delete and that. There's also your usual tyre compounds, of course, and you can change your tyre widths and track width, which always looks slightly better. It's not perfect, but yeah, it's an improvement. There's all your usual drivetrain options, platform and handling options, and engine upgrades. If you take full weight reduction out of the car, you can bring weight down to 1,434 kilos, which puts it just into S1 class. So at this point I went and applied a K1Z Bard A-Class tune which brought power up to 525 Mustangs and weight down to just over 1400 kilos, so still quite heavy, but not as bad as previously and a lot more powerful. I then headed into A-Class Open, where to my surprise, there were some people hovering in the sky in the audience, presumably to keep safe from all the Mustangs on the track. But also, Bard, who made the tune, was actually in the race in this same Mustang. We began at the Junas Blanca sprint, where I had a fairly uneventful start. An elf in a convertible Courgette went wide on one of the corners, and a Ferrari decided to miss a checkpoint though, which promoted me to third, with just the K1Z guys up ahead. And this is, rather predictably, where I stayed until the end of the race. This did mean a podium populated with 3 of the new Mustangs at the end though. The next race was at the Horizon Mexico circuit, where I was given a rather nice pole position, which I kept. Briefly. Within half a lap though, the other 2 Mustangs were ahead of me. Shortly after this, however, the game decided to disconnect, I can only assume, the whole lobby from the racing, as everyone seemed to crash in several people's games, so that was a bit of a shame. I did then head into another couple of sets of races, but the less said about those, the better really. My driving was very quickly going downhill. So the first adventure was going relatively well. The Mustang seemed good in the first 2 races, just a shame everything broke on Forza's end. The other races, however, went terribly, although to be honest that was mostly on me and not on the car. Either way though, I don't think this Mustang is particularly good, however it's not too bad either, so I'm actually really torn this time whether to leave the tune on this car or not. And that is going to do it for today's video, taking a very first look at the Mustang Dark Horse here on Forza Horizon 5. It is a really cool addition to the game, but it makes that other new Mustang we got rather pointless, apart from the body kit of course, but I feel like they could have just applied the body kit to this car and not added that one at all. Anyway, upgraded, it was okay. It felt pretty good to drive, but it wasn't the fastest thing in the game. So yeah, I'm still at this point unsure whether I'm going to leave this tune on after the video or not. As ever though, do let me know your thoughts on this brand new Mustang here in Forza Horizon 5. But for today's video, that is going to be all. So thank you very much for watching, and I will be back with the next one very soon.